Unstoppable at 50, unstoppable in his prime. Mike Harwood didn't need a green jacket to prove anything. From outlasting Greg Norman at home to nearly winning the Open, he was a quiet storm from Sydney that tore through every tour he touched. But how did a player this consistent end up flying under the radar for so long? It all started at Royal Birkdale in 1991, the Open Championship, the biggest test in golf. Mike Harwood, the tall Aussie standing 6'4", walked to the first tee with a quiet confidence that had become his signature. 4 days of golf on the toughest links in England. 4 rounds that would test every skill a golfer could have, and Mike handled it like a true champion. He came out firing with an opening round 68, then kept it going with a 70. As the weekend hit, he stayed solid with a 69. And on Sunday, when it all mattered most, he shot a brilliant 67. When the final putt dropped, Mike stood just 2 shots behind his fellow Australian Ian Baker Finch. So close to lifting the claret jug, so close to golf immortality. But this near miss wasn't the end of Mike's story. It was just one chapter in a career that started way before and lasted long after. Born in Sydney in 1959, Mike turned pro in 1979. He was a true Aussie through and through, and like many great Australian golfers, he learned to play in the wind and on fast greens, skills that would serve him well as he took his game around the world. His big break came in 1986 when he won the Australian PGA Championship. This wasn't just any win. He beat the mighty Greg Norman, ending Norman's streak of 6 straight wins in the event. Talk about making a statement. That same year, Mike showed he could win anywhere by taking the Nattergus Open on the Swedish Golf Tour. Even on a different continent, his game traveled well. By 1988, Mike had taken his talents to the European Tour. His first win there came at the Portuguese Open. He wasn't just a good player at home anymore. He was proving he could beat the best in Europe too. Then came 1989, and Mike added another big trophy by winning the PLM Open in Europe. But it was 1990 when Mike truly became a star on the world stage. That year was simply amazing. He won the Volvo PGA Championship, one of the biggest events in European golf. Then he added the Volvo Masters title at the end of the season. 2 of the most important trophies in European golf, both with Mike's name on them. He wasn't done yet. In that same incredible year, Mike flew back to Australia and won the West End South Australian Open. 3 big wins on 2 continents in 1 year. That's the mark of a true champion. His final European Tour win came at the 1991 GA European Open. By this point, Mike had risen all the way to 6th in the European Order of Merit rankings. He even climbed as high as 20th in the world rankings that year. Throughout his career, Mike proudly wore the Australian colors in team events too. He played for his country in the World Cup in 1984 and 1991. He also represented Australia in the Dunhill Cup and stood for Australasia in the 4 Tours Championship. Just like Harwood knew how to pick his moments, you can pick the perfect sports package with Fubo. Whether it's golf majors, international football, or your favorite league, Fubo's got it all. Check our link in the description and get started with a free trial today. What makes Mike's story even more impressive is what happened when he turned 50 in 2009. Most golfers slow down with age, but not Mike Harwood. He jumped straight into senior golf and won the European Senior Tour's season-ending Tour Championship right away. He shot an incredible 13 under par and beat Angel Franco by 3 shots. This instant success earned him Rookie of the Year honors on the European Senior Tour. Not bad for a guy who was just getting started in his second career. Back home in Australia, Mike kept winning. He captured the 2009 Australian Senior Open in a thrilling 3-way playoff against 2 tough opponents, Peter Sr. and Michael Clayton. The win was even more impressive because Peter Sr. had a 4-shot lead with just 9 holes to play. But Mike never gave up, made a bunch of birdies, and forced his way into that playoff. When they went to extra holes, Mike showed his nerves of steel. On the par 4 8th hole, he rolled in a birdie putt to take the title and the $54,000 prize. Even Mike himself admitted he was surprised to win after Senior had such a big lead, and he was just getting warmed up. Mike went on to win the Order of Merit on the Australian Senior Tour, also called the PGA Legends Tour, in both 2009 and 2015. He won the Australian PGA Seniors Championship twice, in 2012 and again in 2018. His dominance on the Australian senior scene is simply staggering. He won the Tasmanian Senior Open 5 times, 2009, 2010, 2012, 2015, 2016. He took home the Neruscular PGA Championship 3 times, 2009, 2011, 2015. Add to that wins at the Queensland PGA Senior Championship in 2010, the Victorian Senior Open in 2013, the SA PGA Senior Championship in 2015, and even the Fijian Senior Open in 2015. In 2019, at the age of 60, Mike showed no signs of slowing down. He started the season by winning the first 2 events, the Victorian Senior Masters and the Victorian Senior PGA Championship. All told, Mike racked up over 75 victories on the senior tour. That's not just good, that's truly remarkable. What's special about Mike Harwood is how he handled both success and near misses with the same quiet class. He never played in the Masters tournament at Augusta National, but he didn't need a green jacket to prove his worth as a golfer. Instead, he built a career of consistency and excellence across multiple decades and continents. When you look at his whole career, the numbers are impressive. 5 European Tour wins, 2 wins on the PGA Tour of Australasia, 1 on the Swedish Golf Tour, 1 on the European Senior Tour, and 25 other professional victories. One of Mike's most amazing accomplishments was shooting a round of 61 at the Australian PGA Championship at Concord in 1992. It stands as his best ever score as a professional. Even on a day when everything was going right, Mike kept his humble approach. The story of Mike Harwood teaches us something important about sports and life. Sometimes the flashiest players get all the attention, the ones with the big personalities or the dramatic wins. But there's something special about a player like Mike who just shows up, does his job at the highest level, and keeps on winning year after year, decade after decade. From his early days in Sydney to his European Tour success in the prime of his career to his amazing second act as a senior, Mike Harwood's career is a testament to consistency, hard work, and a pure love of the game. He didn't just win once and fade away. He didn't just have one good season. For over 40 years, Mike Harwood has been competing and winning at professional golf. His closest brush with golfing immortality came at that 1991 Open Championship. And while he didn't lift the claret jug that day, his runner-up finish showed the world what Australians already knew, that Mike Harwood was one of the best golfers of his generation. Today, at 66 years old, Mike's legacy is secure. He stands as one of Australia's finest golfers, a player who competed with and beat the biggest names in the sport, a man who represented his country with pride on the biggest stages. Mike's greatness wasn't just about talent, it was about staying power, about showing up year after year, event after event, and delivering excellent golf. While some players burn bright and fade fast, Mike Harwood was a steady flame that kept burning for decades. He outlasted many of the flashier names of his era. He adapted his game to courses all over the world. He won as a young man in his 20s, as a seasoned pro in his 30s, and as a senior well into his 60s. That's not just good. That's not just great. That's unstoppable. In the end, Mike Harwood may not be the first name that comes to mind when people talk about Australian golf legends. But those who know the game, who understand what it takes to win consistently for decades, they know just how special Mike's career has been. From Sydney to Scotland, from Portugal to Perth, Mike Harwood conquered golf courses around the world. He won in his prime, and he won when others his age had long since retired. That quiet storm from Sydney became one of the most quietly respected Australian golfers to ever play the game, and his story deserves to be told.